Hello again, everyone. Today we're going to cover functions and formulas within Excel. This goes along with Project 2 in our textbook. Hopefully this video will make things a little bit easier to understand. Okay. First off, we're going to start talking about how to enter formulas and functions in Excel. Okay. First thing is you always want to select where your answer is going to be. It doesn't matter what operation you're doing, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, whichever one you're doing, you always want to select the cell where your answer is going to be. In this case, I've entered a couple numbers right here already. We are going to put our first answer in cell E3, so we're going to click on that to make that our active cell. Now, the first thing you need to know when entering a formula, no matter how you enter it, no matter if you use the function button, whether you're entering it by hand, by the keyboard, the point and click method, which we're all going to go over here shortly, you need to start with an equal sign. An equal sign will alert the software that there is a computation coming. So we're going to type an equal sign. Now, from this point on, there's a couple different ways you can put in the formula. If I want to, say, add the first two numbers, which would be 23 and 33, and subtract 44, I can do equals 23 plus 33 minus 44. Now, it will give me an answer. Once I hit enter, it gives me an answer of 12, which is great. But if I want to then go back and change these numbers, this will not change. That is why, when possible, which is 99.5% of the time, you should use cell references. So in this case, instead of using 23 plus 33 minus 44, you should use equals, starting with a equal sign, B3 plus C3 minus D3. You'll see how these are color coordinated, and I will show you another way of looking at that later. And hitting enter, and you get 12. Now, if I change, let's say if I change the 45 to, I don't know, 48, you will see my answer automatically changes. All right, that is entering a formula by using the keyboard method. Another method for entering is using the point and click method. If I was just to multiply the first two numbers, I would go equal, and then I would take my cursor right on cell B3, click on that, then I would go multiply, and then if I did C3, and then I would just click on that, and it's the same thing. It might be a little faster to do it this way and less likely for you to create an error by typing in the wrong thing. That is the point and click method. You just hit enter, and it gives you your answer of 759. Okay, that is entering the formulas and function or formula by the point and click method and the keyboard. The other way, if you really want to, is using the function box or function button, and that is up here. This is your function, and this is how you would insert a function. Functions can be anything from simple addition all the way to advanced trigonometry, timelines, statistical things, all that stuff. So if you just click the FX button, you will get the insert function box up, and you can type in what you want to do. You can select a category here. Most of the time I will click all, and then here is your list. So if I wanted to do, if I want to do the difference, in other words subtraction, they're in alphabetical order, so I would go to DIF. Oops, going the wrong way here. Don't know my alphabet today. I believe it's different. Where is it? Let's do sum, because I know sum's down all the way at the bottom here. At least it should be. There we go. We have sum, sum if, sum product. So there's a bunch of different options for sums. So that's another way of inserting a function into Excel, is that button for the insert function button, which is right to the left of the name box. Okay, we're just going to click cancel, considering we already put something in there. And now a little review here, since I have done a little formula there and a formula there. I now want to copy those formulas. Remember, you can use what is called the fill handle just by selecting the two or selecting one, however you want to do it. And then this little black box right here is your fill handle. So you want to go on that, click, hold, and drag down, and it will copy your formula. So now you have formulas in each of the cells with answers. Okay. Now, the other thing we're going to cover right now, actually there's two more things we're going to cover, and that is the average, minimum, and maximum functions. Okay. These are some of the top functions used in Excel. So Excel has done a favor for you and put them in a very easy place, and that is the auto sum button. So we're going to average the three numbers in column B, and we're going to put the answer here in cell B6. So I want to select cell B6, and if I go up to the auto sum button, which you used last chapter, click the drop down button next to it and select average. It will actually put it in there for me, put the function in there for me, and it will suggest what I would like to do. So in other words, it is suggesting, is the range B3 to B5 what I want to average? In this case it is. If it isn't, maybe if I just wanted to do B4 and B5, I can grab the little sizing handles on one of the four corners and resize it, or I can simply type in the range I want. In this case, that is the range I want, so I hit enter, and it will give me the average of those cells. Now another way of doing average, if you just start typing it, so I would go equal, we always start a function or formula with the equal sign, and I just start typing it, A, V, you will see a shortcut menu pop up and basically ask you exactly what you want to do. And in that list, average happens to be the second one, so I double click that, and it starts the formula for me, average open parentheses. I go ahead and select what I want, end it, so close the parentheses and hit enter, and it gives me the average of those three. And then I can use my fill handle if I want, all the way across or just there, whatever I want, and it will give me the averages of each of those cells. Min and max are pretty much the same thing, min being the minimum number of a given range, max being the maximum number of a given range. So if I were to click on cell B7, I can go up here and find min and max. Let's do maximum. Click on maximum. Now we just figured the average out, so we don't want that part of our range, so we just select the first three numbers and hit enter, and it gives me the maximum number of those three. Now if you only have 3 or 4 cells, 3 or 4 numbers to find the min or max, you may not want to use this. But if you get into business and doing large spreadsheets, this is a very handy tool to use. Okay, and again, you can just go across, and lo and behold, you have the maximum number. Min is the same thing. I don't think I necessarily have to go over that. The next thing I'm going to go over is what's called the range finder. Range finder helps you to figure out what cells are involved in the formula. So if you click on it, you will see B3 times C3. That is the two cells that are involved in this formula. But if you want to see it more visually, you can double click on that cell F3, and it will get you into what's called the range finder. The range finder shows you what cells are involved in the formula. So the blue cell, B3 here, is corresponding with the blue cell over here. The green cell reference is corresponding to the green cell over here. So it allows you to see exactly what numbers and what cells are involved in the formula. It's very handy when you have an issue, you have a problem, you're not getting the right numbers, you can see exactly which ones are being referenced. To get out of the range finder, you simply hit your escape key or ESC key. It is in the top left hand corner, and it will go back to normal. Last thing I'm going to discuss right now is something that some of you guys have already run into. It is seeing a bunch of number signs in a box. And I'm going to resize column E here to hopefully, there we go. If you see these number signs like here and here within your box, all that means is the column is too small and you need to resize it. So as soon as I resize that, it gets bigger and it shows you the actual number you're supposed to. So just remember, don't flip out, don't raise your hand, go, oh my God, what happened? All you have to do is resize your column, and lo and behold, your number will reappear. Okay, and that's about it for functions and formula. Again, they're pretty easy to do. Make sure you hit your equal sign every time you are entering a formula, or a function for that matter, if you're going to type the function in. If you want to use the function button, you're more than welcome to do that. You can type it in. Remember, if you're typing something in, double and triple check your numbers. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.